Hello friends, it's Karla here today with Creative Scrapbooker magazine, and we're going to be making a beautiful layout. We have some products here from Simple Stories, the Simple Vintage Meadow Flowers collection. Here's some ephemera that coordinates with this collection. It is very beautiful, and we've got some foam stickers. I have already made a project with this. So a couple are missing. They're really have nice dimension. And here's a look at the paper pack, which comes with a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. Love all the flowers and nature elements in this collection. You can see all the beautiful papers. We've got the Shine Bright rubber stamp set, and we have a really pretty stencil. Got some Ranger archival inks and Prism Studio mixed media paper, along with a pen from Zebra Pen. And we are going to grab the Lindy's Stamp Gang Mists. So I'm using the Odor Space collection here. And I really liked how the colors matched this collection. So I pulled out the Alien God Green, UFO Yellow, Martian Magenta, and Galactic Teal. When I do spray through the stencil, I make sure to wipe off the tip just so that nothing sticks in the top of the sprayer. And I also wanted to note that when you get these, they are dry powder into the sprayer, and you add warm water in them and reconstitute them into this beautiful mist. So what I'm doing is spraying through this IndigoBlu stencil, then I'm turning it over to get a negative impression, and I'm spraying through the other side. So I'm just adding these pretty colors on in the background onto that Prism Studio mixed media paper, which is a really nice thick paper that takes any kind of wet medium really nicely. And I keep just doing this and alternating the colors. I really love how these colors go with this collection, and even though they're fabulous for outer space, they really do work for lots of different backgrounds. You can see you've got that pretty stencil design showing through, and those beautiful Lindy's Stamp Gang colors that are nice and sparkly too. So I'm going through the papers in this Vintage Meadow Flowers collection, and what I'm doing is cutting up some pieces that I can use as 3 by 3 squares. I'm going to end up with 9 3 by 3 squares so that I can add my photos and embellishing to each little square and create a grid design. These papers have some really great images that you can fussy cut as well, and use those as embellishments. So I'm going to cut some of those 2 by 2s and set those aside. I'm using the Tonix Tim Holtz edge distressor, and it just adds a little bit of a roughness around the edge to all those little pieces, adding a little bit of texture and a little bit of dimension. And then after I get them all distressed, I'm adding some of the Ranger archival inks. So there's some dilutions, and there's some of the Tim Holtz Distress archival inks. Ranger has lots of colors in their archival ink palette, and the archival ink is permanent, and you can use it with any kind of watercolor and it won't run. You can also use it for blending and stamping. Here's that IndigoBlu Shine Bright stamp set. It is red rubber, and you just mount it on the stamping block, and that stamping block is from Prism Studio. I love that size. It's a size that works really great. And I like the grid background as well. So I'm just going to add the ink right on to that rubber stamp, and I'm going to stamp the background. So because I'm kind of going for a mixed media distressed look, I'm not even worrying if everything doesn't stamp perfectly. And I really like these stamps. They do have that same kind of distressed look, and are great for mixed media. So I'm using each stamp 2 or 3 times and then placing it under where the paper would go. Sometimes I'm even doing a second stamping to get a lighter ink look. The Ranger Archival Ink Cleaner is really great for cleaning off this archival ink from rubber and from clear stamps. I usually dab it on my cloth first, and then I wet the cloth a little bit, wipe off the ink, and then I'll just go over it again with just some water. And it seems to remove most of the ink, just preventing anything from contaminating the next color. And I love these mixed media stamps, especially these long ones. I feel like they're really great for just adding little details in the background. And over top of those Lindy's Gang stamps, or the Lindy's Gang sprays, they work really nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and just keep stamping all the stamps that I want in the colors that coordinate. And I'm grabbing the Olfa Crafts little fussy cutting scissors. These are stitching scissors, but I love them for fussy cutting. And the full sheet of 12 by 12 tags in the collection pack are just perfect for cutting apart and adding some elements. So this is going to be a little bit of an interactive tag that you saw there. I'm going through some pictures of a hike that we took, just placing the photos on the background. I sized my photos to be 4 on a 4 by 6 size background, so that I could cut the photos apart and have 4 per 4 by 6. And I will just cut those down a little bit so that they fit on the 3 by 3. I grabbed my Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L tape runner. This is the white permanent. And I grabbed my Olfa Crafts grid ruler, which I really like for lining up any kind of layouts, any kind of background, especially for a grid layout. It's really nice to get everything straight on there. You can see I'm just putting some of that tape runner right around the sides of that 3 by 3 paper so that I can get a tag in there, and that tag is one that has some lines on it, and I'm going to do some journaling on that. And here I've got the butterfly wings. So I hadn't showed you in the video, but I had cut out the butterfly from that background. And here's some really nice layering papers that are included in this collection. I love the prints on them. They have plaid on one side and a floral on the other. And I'm using that as a mat for my photos. So again, I'm coming around and using that Tim Holtz Distresser just to give it a little bit of texture, adding a little bit of ink on there, and then I'm gonna add my photo onto it just to give it a little bit extra of layers. I used the Olfa Crafts scissors just to cut that mat. I didn't need it to be perfectly straight, and I felt that just kind of added to the look of this layout. So now I can go ahead and grab some stickers and some sentiments from that 12 by 12 sticker sheet that is included in the 12 by 12 collection pack. And some things I will pop up and some things I'll just put directly down. Usually if I'm using my stickers to pop up, I will use the powder bag or the powder tool there and remove the stick off the back before putting on my Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L adhesive squares. Here I fussy cut out that flower and just actually cut it in half to add as an embellishment. And then I'm going to pop up this dragonfly and put that on. And there's just lots of fun little layers in this, and I feel like each little grid is kind of its own little layout, which is fun. Those foam stickers in the collection there of the meadow flowers are so pretty, and I love the texture of that foam, and it just adds a little bit of dimension as well. I'm just going to continue on adding my matting and adding my embellishments to each little square. And I was so excited that I found some of these enamel dots that actually are from this collection, which was great. I'm just adding them on to 3 different areas on the project, and I'm using the Olfa craft knife in order to apply those dots to my background. Now I'm adding a little bit of twine to those little tags to create that interactive element to the project. I'm going to use the zebra pen. This is the Sarasa Clip Black. It's almost like a gel pen, and it's the 0.5, so it's really quite fine and is very nice for journaling. Then I can tuck that journaling tag right in my pocket, and I'm grabbing 2 more of these Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays. So we've got the white spray, which is Fairy Fluff, and then a more of a gold spray, which is Pixie Dust. So they're very translucent. The white one is clear but very glittery, and the Pixie Dust has a little bit of a gold tint to it, and as well has a really nice glittery effect. And I'm using a paintbrush just to paint that on to various ephemera pieces, fussy cut pieces, and it just adds this beautiful sparkle in the light. So I'm not sure how much that translates through the camera, but it really does have a beautiful shimmer to it on anything that you paint it onto. So here's a look at the completed layout. We've got lots of fun splatters and colors in the background, and then that beautiful meadow flowers collection with lots of pictures from the nature hike and some interactive elements as well to this layout. So I hope you've had fun watching how to use some of these fun products, and be sure to check those out with your local scrapbook store, or you can check them out online. And thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you have a very crafty day.